jQuery Mobile makes it super easy to create dialogues. Dialogues, as a matter of fact, are exactly like pages. What makes them look and behave like dialogues is how you call them. So let's check it out. So creating a dialogue is exactly like creating a page. So if you need a review on how to create pages, make sure you check out the movie on creating jQuery mobile pages. So I'm going to go to the bottom of my project here. So here's where the last page was added, which is the tweets page. I'm going to add another div, and it's going to have a data role of page, and it's going to have an ID of info because it's going to be our info page. Inside that, I want to have another div with a data role of header. So this is going to be my header section. And I want to put in something like about view source in here. I'll go ahead and give it a headline. And then I'm going to have a div data role content. And this is where most of our stuff's going to go. And just so I don't have to type it all in, I'm going to go to my code snippets.html and grab this paragraph right here and just paste it inside our data role content. And I'll indent this a little bit. And now our dialog page is done. And what I'm going to do is create an icon. Since we're right next to the tweets page, I'll click on it right here. And I want to have a little icon up here that lets me click and go to the page called info. So let me scroll up here, and here's where I have the icon to go back to the home page. I'm going to format a little bit better just to make it easier to read. So I want to essentially make a copy of this with my new page info. So this is going to go to the info page. The data icon is going to be info, and it's going to have no text. So you can see it already up here. It looks like a little I. And I'm going to call this info. Not that it matters because I'm not showing the text, but technically it should have the proper name. So if I click on this, it's going to go to that other page. Not exactly looking like a dialog. It looks exactly like a page. So we need to modify the link a little bit. And we'll add another data relationship equals. And this time we'll put in dialog. And note what happens when I click on this I. The dialog pops open. The rest of the page fades out, and I get a little automatic close box right here. Plus the style of this page now looks like a dialog. So that's actually pretty cool. There's not much to it. You just create a data rel attribute inside any link, and that link will take you to a page and make it look like a dialog. Now to close a dialog, all you have to do is click on the close box, of course. But really any type of link inside a dialog box will automatically close the dialog. So you can alternatively put in a button and have that button take you somewhere else. It doesn't have to close in a particular page. So to create a close button that takes you somewhere else, I'm going to go ahead and add an anchor tag here. So href, and it's going to take me, say, back to the home page instead. And this is going to create a button to let people go back to the home page from the info dialog. So what I'm going to do here is create a data role of button. And so let's take a look at what happens when I click on this I now. So now I have a button. This one will close this dialog box. This one is going to close the dialog box. And then in addition to that, it's going to take me back to the home page. So click on it, takes us back to the home page. So remember with buttons that if you want to have more than one button, that's not a problem. If you want them to display side by side, you need to modify them a little bit. So I'm going to create a link here now to nowhere. So this # just means the same document as the current document. And I'm going to give it a data role of button. So this is going to be a cancel button. I'll just put it lowercase like the other one, cancel. I'll go back to tweets. If I click on this, I get two buttons, home and cancel. Cancel right now doesn't do anything. So let me close this out and show you how you fix that, and also how to put the buttons side by side. So let's do that first. I'm going to do a data inline equals true. And I'll do another one down here. So now if I click on this I, the buttons are now side by side. So remember that using data inline true makes the buttons go side by side. You could also lay these out with a grid. So if you want to know more about those type of layouts, make sure you check the movie on using buttons and also creating grids if you want to learn how to lay things out. So I'm going to hit cancel right now. It doesn't work. home works, this close box works as fine. So you can have a button take you to the previous page by adding some additional code. So what I'll do is in my cancel button, add the data rel equals, and here I'll type in back. So let's check it out now. We click on this, hit cancel. So it's important that I put this pound sign instead of a specific page because I want to reuse the same button everywhere. So I don't just want to put the name of the info page or everywhere else that I use this button. I would have to type in the name of the page. So I can go back to a previous link. This is almost like going back through history by adding data rel equals back. This is a trick that you can use not only in dialog boxes, but in other places. So by adding this data rel back and making this list pound, it's just going to take you back to whatever page called the dialog. So let's check it out. Click on this. And now when we cancel, it brings it back. Technically, I think probably the cancel button should be before the home button. So let me go ahead and do it like that. And now everything's working well. Hit cancel. So let's go ahead and copy this call to the dialog, which is at the beginning of our tweets page. So there's a tweets page. Here's the header. Here's the home. I know that the other home links are not formatted like this. So just to make everything consistent and more clear, I'll copy both the home page link and the info page link from this tweets header. And I'll go into all my other pages and I'll paste them. So here's my photos page. Here's the link right now to the home page. So I'll paste that right there. Scroll up. So here's the videos page. We'll go ahead and paste that in there as well. Scroll up. Here's the blog page. And here's our home page. Go ahead and paste this in to show you what happens. So let's go back home. And now we have on our home page this home button as well as the info button. Now, I don't really need to have the home button on the home page, but if I take it out, my button goes to the left of the header, which is the normal behavior. Anytime you add one link to a header, it becomes a button on the left. So if you want to move that to the right, you need to add a class, and the class is going to be UIBTN right. That puts the icon on the right-hand side, and now it's just consistent between all of the different pages. It's always sitting right there. The philosophy behind jQuery Mobile is to make it as easy and logical as possible to create things like dialogues. You could really appreciate how elegant the library is when working on user interface elements.